What's up, guys? I'm Chelsea Hernandez, music editor at Swagger RS, and you're now tuned into my podcast, Time Out, where I have conversations with music related subjects about their workings in music.
Hey, y'all, what's up? It's Chelsea, and I am here with singer songwriter Moonlander. How are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Do you produce as well? I don't.
No, I like whenever I work on songs with like my producer, I'll just be there and like, I don't know, I'm like the talker that's like, let's change this, let's do that, let's add this. So no, I'm not like touching stuff. It's like a co-producer, right? Let's call it that. Let's call it a co-co.
Okay. All right, but you're like heavily involved in the whole process, just not actually producing.
Yes, exactly.
Nice. So before I get to some of the singles that you've already dropped, I saw on social media or on Instagram that you were releasing Honey Bunny 2.
Yay!
I
have a rug in here. Look, that's Honey Bunny 1 right there.
So cute. Yeah.
Rug.
The like album cover. That's cute.
But yeah, I'm about to drop Honey Bunny 2. Honestly, I kind of made this album like in like 3 weeks. I feel like in like a 3-month period, maybe besides like 2 songs, which were like Out of Your League and Sarcastic. Those came a little before, but yeah, I felt deep in love. And I don't know, whenever I have something like to actually like genuinely talk about, I'm like ready to I just put everything into like my music. Like I don't know, I'm kind of like savage sometimes, maybe a little too savage, but yeah, I initially had this one album called Moon 21 I was going to drop on New Year's, where I don't know, it's just like a new era of Moon. I had like a bunch of songs already ready for that. And then I just kept writing like love songs. And I was like, I can't make this like a Moon 21. We were just joking with my friends because we made that when we were like in high school. So I was like, this is like a Honey Bunny 2. And then we were all like laughing. And I was like, hold up, wait. And then we just like stuck with it. I was like, this is a Honey Bunny 2. Let's just rock with it.
Wow. Okay. So I know that the original Honey Bunny that was released years ago was kind of about a similar situation, like you were in love and
heartbroken. I get heartbroken sometimes, but I don't know. I definitely the first Honey Bunny is like obviously when we were in high school, and like even now I wouldn't even say that my sound's like where it's gonna be, but I would say it wasn't definitely there then. So I left it on Spotify. I've had like 20 albums that since I started making music when I was 13, and since now that all like I've erased because I don't want anyone to hear them because they're really bad. But I left that one up just as like, to me, it just kind of meant a lot to me because it was like me and my friends were just all like, just so like in love with like making music. Like it didn't matter like who actually listened to it at all because we didn't even have anyone listening to it. So we just did it out of love. So to me, it's like something special. I just left it on Spotify. But yeah, it basically all comes from like a heartbreak. And then I just write too many songs about the person that broke my heart, which is pretty sad. But it's pretty fun.
Yeah. I feel like just about every artist does that. So it's not like anything out of the ordinary or weird or whatever.
I'm like the male Taylor Swift, basically.
Yeah. I was actually just thinking.
Calling him
out. So I know that the original Honey Bunny had quite a few features, like I think Trey Ahmad and was it OG the Original Genius? Or
I put you on, Trey. I put you on.
You did, yes.
Hey,
and I actually listened to I still listen to his music. Like I think
they're great. They're really great. But yeah, I mean, the first Honey Bunny, I just had nothing. I think I only had like one song that wasn't a feature. And then when I was working on all these songs, I was like, I mean, a true Honey Bunny just has features like on deck. So I kind of like took it up a notch to get some like bigger features. I don't know if you saw, I have like Skizzy Mars and Nick D, if you know who they are. But I just wanted to like kind of come hard with it. And then of course, me and Trey like worked on the first one. Like he was on mostly all the songs with me. So I was like, bro, you got to get on at least 3 or 4 in this thing. So he came on. They're actually really great. They're going to be really, really good. I don't know if you heard Answers with him.
Yes.
Yeah, that one's cool. I like it. But yeah, this is like a feature album. So I was like, we got to do it again. We're going to do everything like the same just to create like, I don't know, something about me thinks it's so cool. Like something I made like when I was a little kid can like become something like bigger. And that's why like you saw the first one and then I haven't dropped like the official album cover, but like, it's kind of like this one's like a cartoon and then it's like Pixar. Like it's kind of like got like a budget upgrade. You know what I'm saying? And obviously like I got a little bit better. So I don't know. I think that's like cool. There's like some magic behind that.
Yeah, no, I saw the art on the track list that you posted on Instagram. And I think it's so cute. Like I love it even better than the first one.
I do too. But when you see the cover, it's going to be even more sick, I think. I haven't even seen the cover yet. It's not made yet. So that's even more sad, but it will be made it'll be done next Wednesday.
Okay, cool. Do you plan on like posting that, or are you gonna save it for when?
I don't know. Yeah, I haven't thought about that because basically my plan with this album is I'm doing like starting December 3rd will be when the song with Skizzy comes out. And then every Friday after that until the album comes out, I'm just going to drop it like a single for it. Just because like, I don't know. I don't want to be disappointed like putting out a bunch of songs and the ones that like I really love aren't getting love. So I'm going to go ahead and put like my favorite 4 out. And then when the album comes out, there'll be like 6 songs you haven't heard or something like that, whatever the number is. But it's hard too because the person that makes all my art, shout out to Pale, but he obviously like hand draws everything. So it's not like something that can just be like made like within 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So like every week we have like a whole like calendar layout where it's like, we need to have this by this date and this by this date. So he's actually working on the sarcastic one right now. And that'll be done, I think tomorrow. And then next week will be like the official one. And then he'll work on another one and work on another one. So he's working.
Cool. Since you brought up sarcastic, that's the song with Skizzy. What is that about? Can you sort of like explain that, like how you came up with it, the name, all of that?
One night, my ex boo thing, we just call her Green Top. That's like kind of like her. I don't know if you saw like the thing. I said my Green Top Shoddy. Like if you look at the Out of Your League cover, it's like her green tops on the ground. Like there's like clothes and stuff on the ground. That's like the green tops on the ground. And then in Out of Your League, I say like green top blonde, ass kind of fat though. So that was like the first time I kind of talked about it. But so we just call her Green Top. Basically like I was like texting her one night. She just was like, I don't know, with all the games, I guess. But one night, like we got into like a serious talk and then she like got upset and didn't text me back. So I literally like went into the studio and I was like, this girl just sarcastic. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I also like, it was funny enough, like the beat name was also sarcastic. So it was like,
Wow.
I don't even know if I would have written it like that, but I saw that and I was like, yeah, she is. So the song's basically the hook's like, baby girl sarcastic, always with the games, go to bed when I'm in pain. It's fantastic. So I don't know. It's about being sarcastic, I guess.
Okay.
About playing the game, but nah, it's an anthem. I'm excited. I don't know. I'm always like super hyped to put out new stuff just to see like what's working and what's not, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. And you mentioned that you would put out like the 4 that you really liked. And so sarcastic is one of them. What are the other? Well, I guess
I love them all, but I think obviously like, you know, when there's like those songs that are going to stick out more, like I guess the hits, right? So I feel like I've like picked those out and then the people that like obviously are fans of me are just going to enjoy the other songs anyways. But I got a song called Around You, which is probably like the love song because most of these songs are like love songs, but they're kind of like disses at the same time. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's some hate in there. There's a little bit of hate in there, but I got one called Around You, which is like the love song where it's like, I like the way I feel around you. I have one called Crazy, and that's basically like the hook's like, you're kind of crazy. So got that one. And then I have one called Never Even Dated, and that's with Trey. Yeah, I guess that one's kind of sweet. It's like, but it's also got some hate in there. So that's like basically like talking about how like I'm so hurt, but we never even dated. So it's like sad that like I even feel like this, you know? And And then I'm doing some videos. I have this song. It's the last song. It's probably like my favorite song, but I wouldn't consider it like the hit, but it's just like a super like FU. It's kind of mean. It's called You're the Worst.
Okay.
And we're shooting a music video for that this week. So it's going to be like a funeral scene of like Green Top dying. So like this imaginary girl like dying. So like it's going to be like super funny though. So all my friends, we're going to like dress up in like different characters and like just be like funny with it. So
Okay. That sounds interesting.
I'm trying to brand this Green Top more as like a true like character.
Yeah.
Just cause like my whole like team and I, like we all have like characters. Like, I don't know. You haven't seen me live yet, right?
No.
Oh, you live in Chicago, yeah?
No, I'm in Atlanta.
Dang it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I might be in Atlanta in February, but
Okay.
yeah, we just have like a bunch of characters. Like when I go on stage, I have this he's actually my brother, but he plays like Freddie the flutist, and I'll be like, guys, we have like a really expensive guest, like he's really super hard to get. He comes out like in the whole like tuxedo, and he has like a flute, and he doesn't even play the flute, but there's a part in the song where it's like boop boop boop. So like he's like center stage, spotlights on him, and it's like just quiet, and he just hits that and people go crazy. So I don't know, we have like a lot of characters, so I'm trying to bring more characters into it. I like to do like a Broadway play one day when I'm like, my concerts are like a Broadway play.
Okay. So I guess on that same subject of your shows and your friends playing characters, do you plan on doing a tour for Honey Bunny 2? And if so, what do you think that would look like? Like, how would you structure that with, the music video, like you were saying, being sort of like a funeral scene, and that whole album being like a love-hate sort of thing?
Yeah.
How would you work
When does
that?
when will this like air, this interview? Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be published.
Oh, yeah. When is it? I'm just saying when. It's cool. It's cool. I was just saying like when.
Oh
Probably
man,
like a week or something.
I am so backed up. I will get back.
I'm not
with
rushing you. I'm just saying it doesn't matter. I was just saying like I could talk for like the people when they're listening. It's like I can say something that when I know they're listening, but whatever. So to answer your question, right now I'm trying to go viral. I'm trying to be viral right now. Like I want something that's just like a boom, like wow. So right now, I don't know if you've heard my song Out of Your League.
Yes.
I basically bought a billboard, like an actual billboard out on this street or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And on the billboard it says, to the girl that played with my heart, and then there's like a picture of me, and I'm like, and then it says like just big, I'm out of your league.
Wow.
And then I'm gonna go and jump on top of the billboard, and then we're gonna shoot a music video for Out of Your League while I'm on top of the billboard as like a big like, savage moment. So to answer your question, right now, I wouldn't see myself doing like my own tour unless I go like viral top off, just because I feel like a lot of people don't understand, like when you're like a smaller artist, it's like actually like I feel like more work because you're doing everything versus like when you're bigger, you have people that are getting paid to do everything.
Yeah.
Not that there's not to discredit upper artists, there's still so much work, obviously, but
difference.
I would say I'm trying to go viral, and then definitely if that happens, we're doing a huge tour. But if not, I'm going on tour with Bryce Vine for like 8 or 9 shows in February. So if not, we'll definitely do something cool for that. And then come like April or into March, I'm probably gonna hop on like someone's actual tour, like 20 cities and stuff.
Nice. Okay. So
I'm definitely be touring next year, like a lot. It's probably all I'm gonna be doing, but I just don't know if it's gonna be my tour. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. I mean, I get that. If you okay, so even with it not being your tour, I don't know how much like creative freedom you have, like as an opener or whatever, like, but how would you like to structure your show, or how would you like to have it play out? Like if you could paint the picture, like,
I mean, as an opener, you really don't get like anything. don't even get like live instruments sometimes. So in my perfect world, I can't wait. I want to have a full band, which is like drums, guitar, keys, bass, whole band, whole like lighting story and stuff. But also, like I said, like I eventually want to like literally have like a Broadway play that tells like a story, but also like performing in between. You know what I'm saying? It's like if I'm doing like Out of Your League, I'd love to have like a little like scene where like I'm acting and it's like you see like what I'm writing about. Like I'm at like for that instance, I'm like writing about the girl I'm talking about, and it's like you just see like a little clip or something. I don't know why I'm holding this. I was playing with it, but yeah, I eventually that's what I want to have, just whole like sets and stuff, just to give like a true like experience and bring something different that not a lot of people are doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, until then, I think we'll probably have some stuff like set up where it's like still cool, like a backdrop or something. But I don't know, it's just hard to tell because you always, as an opener, you don't really get, you're not the main priority. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Okay. All right. I wanted to sort of move on to your out of your league song that you just mentioned. You did that with Nick D, who is also incredibly talented. I'm a huge fan. But how did that collab come about?
He killed that verse. Like that's a great verse. Like he killed it. So basically during the Bryce tour, I mean, I heard of Nick D before I went on tour with Bryce. Obviously, like he blew up on TikTok, but on the Bryce tour, he came for like 4 shows and performed with Bryce, like Pineapple, the remix they have, and he just hopped on stage. So like we kind of just developed like a relationship, just like backstage, like hanging out and stuff. And like during the tour, like we'd be in the van, like all the boys, and we would just like bump Pineapple. It was kind of like the starting theme song of the tour, and we would like send him videos like like every day, just like bumping it to him, and he's probably like, oh, these kids are annoying. But and I just had the song Out of Your League, and I was like, obviously like a goal of mine was to get some like bigger features, and then I just hit him up and I was like, bro, I would love it if you could hop on this. And then he's like, send it my way, and then he liked it and he vibed with it and he killed the verse. So I appreciate him. Thank you, King.
Yeah, he's really, really good. And that song is definitely, I would say, out of Answers and out of Your League.
Oh, Out of Your League hits harder?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Okay, good.
Yeah, that one.
I'll send you Sarcastic and you can check that out.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So let's actually, I guess, move on to Answers. So what is that song about, and why did you decide to get with Trey on that one?
I love how I just looked at our messages and I literally have typed out I'm glad and never sent it to you. So just sorry about that. But I'm about to send you the folder for Sarcastic. But I'll send the I'm glad so you know I got you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
But Answers. Answers is like, I don't know, like it was very like R&B, and like kind of when I think R&B, I automatically think like Trey would kill it. So also like sometimes it's not a struggle, but sometimes like I lose a vibe when I'm singing songs. Like I'll make like a perfect first verse that I think is perfect, and then I'll make like the hook, which I think is obviously dope. And then when I get to the second verse, sometimes it just like feels like not as natural, or like I already kind of like talked what I needed to say. So I sometimes don't want to overdo it. And that's why it's like, it was kind of easier with this album to get features, because then I only had to do like one verse for everything. But I mean, I like I've told you, they are probably like one of my favorite artists, like even though we're like best friends, but like legit, he's just like actually good. Like he's just so they're just so like real, like everything about is just, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's dope to know someone that's like actually my friend. Like he's the reason I started making music and stuff. So when we were 13, like he came over to my house and was like, let's make a song, because he was already like singing in them. I was like, let's do it. We hopped on like a Kanye West remix.
Wow.
And it was terrible. I remember I was like talking about OxyClean because I was fresh or something. That was one of my lines, like I'm fresh like OxyClean or something. So really
Well,
bad, but yeah, in a sense, they like created me like with music. They opened me up to the world and I fell in love with it. So it's dope to see. Obviously, we both have like we started as 8th grade kids and now we're like actually good. So
that's so cool. And I'm trying to think back because I I know I originally interviewed you when I first started. I think you were one of my first interviews that I had ever done. Um, and it was just like the transcribed like thing. And I don't know if I ever asked like how you got started making music or anything like that. So like
yeah.
this information is very new to
Oh,
me.
you're like, hold up. Yeah, yeah. So no, we went to the same middle school together and it was like 8th grade. I just moved. So it was like a new school for me. So I didn't know anyone. I started like went to the homeroom and I was hanging out with this dude. Um, and he was already friends with Trey. So he kind of like intertwined us and Trey was already making music. He had a song that was called I Hate Middle School, which is like a remix to I Hate or I Love College by Asher Roth. And he'd be like, I hate middle school. And I remember like he dropped it and everyone in middle school was like, this is it. Like, this is so fire. And I was like, I used to love music, but I just always like, I even like thought about it, like making music before. I used to listen to like Smack That by Akon and Eminem. And I used to think it was so sick how like, I don't know. I just love like a little bit of everything. I loved how like Akon would sing and then Eminem would come with the rap. Like I felt like that was just like perfect. It's like you get a little bit of everything because I'm not like huge on like all rap. I'm not huge on all like singing. I just like when there's like a little mix. So we were just be hanging like as friends and he was already making music. So he was like, I'm gonna bring my mic. Y'all want to make something tonight? And we were both like, me and my other friend were like, yeah, of course. And like we were just sitting upstairs at my dad's house, like on this little like USB, and we're like, uh, uh, and we just listened to it. And I was like, this is so sick. I was like, this is sick. And I remember I asked my pops like for Christmas, I was like, can you give me this $70 mic? And then I just started going in and I went like really, it was really bad, but I just started making like remixes and stuff. I thought I was like so sick to have like a Drake where Drake's like singing the hook and I'm like doing like remixes. I'm like, yeah, like it just wasn't it. But yeah, that's how it started. It all went down.
Nice.
That's
Okay.
why over the times, like we just kept like we've always had every song, like every time I've had a project or something, we've always had songs. Or when he had projects, like you probably have like 1,000 songs that are all terrible. You don't want to hear them, but they're there.
I think you should definitely release them someday. Like,
There.
yeah, you have to. You have it's your origin story. You've had
Yeah,
to.
I will one day. I don't want to do it yet. I got to be bigger because I'm scared. Like the some fans I do have are gonna be like, oh no, I gotta go. So we'll wait. We'll
Well,
wait till we can lose a few. You know.
I mean, look, as long as you've progressed, I don't think it'll be an issue.
Yeah. True.
So
We're good.
I'm
We're
sure
good
you.
now. We're good now. We're good.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Awesome. Well, so I don't know if you mentioned, I think you did mention like when the album is dropping, but do you mind?
I would love to. Yeah, it comes out December 31st. And I've been working like hard because it's not even done. Like
Oh,
normally
really?
people like that have albums and stuff, like just wait a year and stuff. But I'm like totally not like that. Like I'm super hard on myself. Like I'll listen to something I made like last year, like even Out of Your League, I'm listening to it now and it's like kind of making me mad because I'm like, oh, I could have done that better. I could have done this better. Like that's just how I am. So like when I sit on songs, they'll never come out. They'll just always like I'm done with them. Like also like I'm like my biggest fan too. So like when I make like a song, like I'll show you like a rough draft. It's not good. Like when I make rough drafts, like I'll literally go like for the rough draft Out of Your League. Like you'll hear me like mumbling. I'll be like, no, 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 it'll be bad like that. I'm like, like it just be like that where I'm like throwing melodies out. And then
Yeah.
I'll hit like the hook where I'm like, I'm out of your league. And it will sound like you'll see like where I got the end one from, but like you're like, ugh. But I'll just listen to like a rough draft and like it's literally like my music. I'll just be like, yeah, this is gonna be hard. This is gonna be hard. And then by the time it comes out, I'm like, I'm done with it because I already listened to it like 1,000 times. So
Wow.
when I like, that's why I was like, bro, I like to give myself like dates and stuff because I'm like, let's just get this pushed. Like, because if I wait on this too long, one, my feelings, especially like I already hate that like this girl has like a whole album written about her. Like, I hate that she gets to like have a credit like that where she can be like, ha, like Moon wrote a song, like an album about me. Like,
Yeah.
she doesn't deserve that at all. So that's another thing. Like, if I waited too long, I'd be like, nah, I ain't even dropping it. So December 31st, I'm pushing it. Every day we're just working on stuff. So it's almost there. We have like a couple more songs to finish, but
Okay.
it's getting there.
Okay, so that sort of leads me to two questions. First one being, how long did it take you to write all of the songs for the album? And what do you still have left to finish? That's not the second question, but that's like
True. Okay. I don't know. I'm just big on like vibes. Like when I go, and again, I there will be a day one time where I want to like share like my rough drafts with people because I think that's like also there's like an art to that too. Is how like I can just go in there and like be like na and like you'll hear like even when I just freestyle everything, and then when I freestyle like I'll just say what's on my mind and it like works sometimes. So honestly, when I just make something, I'm in that moment. I just like have like so much to pour out and like say. So like I'll just write it right then and there. And then I'll just kind of like I said, I just listen to the rough draft. I'll just keep listening to it 1,000 times. And then I'm like, oh dang, I had to actually make this a song. And then that's when I'll go in and like, sorry, and then actually like record and stuff. So everything's written, I just had to retouch up on some recording stuff. And then obviously like everything's getting like mixed and mastered right now as well. So
Okay.
I think we have like 4. It's like so crazy how like even like I'm like rushing it, but like each song, like there's like over like 2 days of work that goes in each song. Cause like one day I had to like get with the producer and we like change everything up. Then I'll go in and record and then I'll send it away to the mixing guy. And then when I get that back, I'll be like, oh, I actually want to change this back up with a beat. So then I'll have the beat guy back over. We'll change it again. Then I'll hear him be like, oh, I got to re-hit this. So then I'll re-hit this. And then by then the guy's got to master it. And then we have it done complete.
Okay. So like from, I guess it's technically not start to finish since it's not finished, but we'll just call it that. So from start to finish, when did you start working on it? Like on the album as a whole?
I would say it started with Out of Your League, and that was into August when
Wow.
I first met this girl. I was at a festival. I got it's called Blended Fest. I got booked for a festival in Austin, Texas. Went to the club afterwards. There's like an official after party. This girl walks up to me. I have like a love at first sight moment because I'm weird like that. It doesn't happen very often. It's very rare. That's why when it happens, I'm like, oh no. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just kind of saw her and I'm like, there's just something, you're going to be something like I already know.
Yeah.
So I was having like the best night of my life. It was so great. And then I tried to like kiss her. I was like, can I kiss you? And then she was like, no. And then I was like, oh. So then I felt like she wasn't about it. So then I was like, dang. So she swerved me. I went back home. I tell all the boys, I'm like, man, screw her. Like I was like, I thought something was real right there. I guess not. And then the next day at the festival again, she walks up to me. She's like, hey. And I'm like, oh, what's up with you? Like, you didn't just swerve me or anything. And she's like, don't be like that. Later that night, she ends up like grabbing me. She kisses me. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, oh God, oh God. So I'm like, okay, back in these feelings again. I go home. I'm like texting. She doesn't text back. And then I'm like, I'm out of your league. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even like in a mean way, just because I'm like, I love myself. So it's more of like a self, like,
Yeah.
anyone that doesn't want you back is like, you're out of their league. You know what I'm saying? That's how like I wrote the song is like, it's not like a levels thing or anything. Like if someone doesn't want you, like, bye. You know what I'm saying? Like you can do better. So I wrote the song, didn't even know her that deep. And I was just like, wrote the song, like, I'm out of your league. And I explained like at the club, we were in Austin. I was at the Jack, started talking. And that's when I asked for a kiss because I was a little drunk. Probably shouldn't have done that. But yeah, so I wrote that song, and then afterwards, it's actually funny. I performed at Breakaway Music Festival in Charlotte, like in my hometown, and it was the first time I'm like premiering the song. So I'm on stage and I look, and she's in the crowd, right? She's like right there.
Oh, wow.
And I told her, like, we had stopped texting. We weren't even texting like that because she wouldn't even respond really. So, but I did tell her, I was like, I have a song written about you, which was Out of Your League. She didn't know. And she was like, send it to me. And I was like, nah. So never even send it to her. I'm on stage. I'm like, what up, y'all? I'm like, it's actually a funny story. So I kind of fell in love in Austin with this girl. She ended up playing some games. And I was like, so this one, I was like, this song's called Out of Your League. And then I looked right at her and I was like, this one's for you. And then so she's like, all her friends are like, oh my God. Like, oh, like, because it kind of starts off like sweet a little bit, it's like started off cool. Oh, so they're like loving it. They're like, oh my God. And then comes, it's like, I'm out of your league. And then obviously like at the festival, I have like drums and like the speakers are just loud. So that thing like, boom, like really like punches you. And all her and her friends were just like mouth just went like drop mode. Like, oh my God. So that was actually a really great time for me. I liked being able to like perform it for her. You know what I'm saying? It was like, it was a great moment. But then afterwards, it really got bad because that's when she like came up. She's like, oh my God, like I loved it. Like, I love you, all this. And then it just started going down the rabbit hole, Honey Bunny. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it got deeper and then it just ended. So that's what Honey Bunny came from, basically, Out of Your League.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
It's kind of a nice story though. Yeah. Yeah. It kind of gets a little juicy.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. And I'm like a little bit more excited to listen to Honey Bunny too now knowing the backstory and like how it originated. It sounds like it'll be quite the adventure.
I think for the music video, I mean, I haven't thought about this, but honestly, me and you talking right now, I liked how you were like, I feel like I know it, because someone else said that too when I told the story. They're like, oh, I feel like I know. And then once you know the story and when you hear my songs, you can like correlate and be like, oh, wow, like you'll see me like talking about certain things. But I think like before the music video, I'll do like a small explanation if I can. It's kind of a long story, but where I can like kind of tell the story and then I'll be on the billboard like, boom.
That would be cool. That would be really, really interesting. Yeah. Oh, I'm excited to watch that now.
Thank you. I love that.
To like structure that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted the billboard because I feel like it's super savage and it's like, obviously I want the song to get bigger and everything. And I feel like who would buy a billboard for that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, not a lot of people would do that. So
you're like, you got
that definitely sets you apart. It's very different. Is there anything else that you would like to share or anything that you would like to plug? And you can also like,
I'm going kind of viral on TikTok and I love that. That's what I was looking at, but that's my plug. I'm kind of going viral, y'all. No, I'm not kidding.
Plug your TikTok. No. Like what's your
everything's Moonlander. I appreciate anyone that listened to this. It was a great time. I love Chelsea. I'm glad we got to actually talk for once because we've been trying to set this back and forth.
Yeah.
Wait, so do you do write-ups also?
I do.
Okay, yeah. Word. I love that.
Yeah, they're my least favorite, but I do.
Yeah, I can't even type, so I'm dyslexic. So
you're a songwriter.
I can type, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes the words get a little mixed up, but I just keep it rolling. I don't even worry about it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't worry about it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for doing this. And thanks to everyone for tuning in. Make sure you follow Moonlander on all of his social media and on Spotify, Apple Music, and whatever you use to stream music.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Time Out, and be sure to subscribe, rate, and share the podcast on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, be sure to follow us at Swagger RS on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.